Hello students, my name is Yash Khamis and I'm from group 22 and today I'm presenting assessment 2 of GBU100, which is business communication, and all of our group members are choosing the topic of Commonwealth Bank of Australia, so we'll be choosing this organization for presenting our assignment. And moving on, so starting with the executive summary, this report puts the light on business communications or communication strategies used by Commonwealth Bank of Australia, as I already said, for their customers as external communication. In external communication means that they need to attract more customers or retain more customers, or the employees of their organizations needs to speak or communicate to other peoples outside their organization. So that's external communication. Whereas on the other side, we have internal communication where the communication occurs between the employees and the bosses and their workers, etc., around new rules and regulations and all of these things. As you all know, that communication is a major part of the game plan of financial education, as the most important part of financial organization is trust, and the main game revolving around financial institutions like banks and all of these bank or investing opportunities companies revolves around trust, because when the things are connected to money, the trust is a major factor, and to build trust, the first and foremost thing that comes toward is communication, how good your presenter are. And the most important part of building trust is in finances is face-to-face communication, because that is the most effective way. And here in this report, we will discuss all the communication strategies used by the company, and they retain their customers all around the globe, how they do it, and all of those things will be discussed in the further slides. So starting with the introduction part. So introduction, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia is an Australian multinational bank with business across New Zealand, Asia and United States and the United Kingdom. So it is a very big company with branches in different sites and various locations. It provides a variety of financial services, including retail, business and institutional banking, etc., ranging from fund management, insurance, investment, broking services, and all of those things related to financial careers and these kind of organizations. The Commonwealth Bank is the largest Australian listed company on the Australian Securities Exchange. So this is a kind of background information around the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, the main topic of our assignment. So again, listing some background information. The Commonwealth Bank was founded under the Commonwealth Bank Act 1911. So it is a pretty old bank and commenced operations in 1912. Empowered to conduct both savings and general banking business. Today they have grown to a business with more than 800,000 shareholders and 52,000 people working in the Commonwealth Bank group. So that's a pretty huge number. And moving on to purpose and objectives. The purpose of bank is to build brighter future for all. That's a major aim for most of the organizations. So the objective of Commonwealth Bank is to deliver balanced and sustainable outcomes for customers, community, people, shareholders of Commonwealth Bank of Australia, and also on areas outside Australia too. It delivers outcomes that have the greatest impact on customers, communities, and other people. Mostly customer is the major concern, because that creates or breaks our organization. So moving on. And moving on to the main problems of Commonwealth Bank, starting with the poor customer reviews, as the customers are the main building blocks of any organization, so the reviews matter a lot. And in the case of Commonwealth Bank of Australia, they have some issues with the poor review. And the another problem is not the most competitive interest rates of savings accounts, so the interest rates are not that much high, so the customers tend to shift towards other companies for their savings and all of these things. So this is a major problem with the bank. Also with the home loans, high interest on credit cards, so credit interest rates are also high, so people need to pay more. So that's why that is a very major issue too. And the next point is identified in the Banking Royal Commission for junk insurance and fees for no service. And the last problem is room for improvement for customer service. Their customer service also had some problems in the past, so they need to work on that too. And moving on to the scope of Commonwealth Bank. Commonwealth Bank is a multinational bank, as already mentioned. It has locations in various sites with businesses across in different nations, and it provides variety of services to different nations too. So the bank is not only limited to Australia, it conducts its business in outer parts too, like superannuation. So these are some services like superannuation, funds, broking services, insurance, and loan facilities to the customers. And it is a listed company with brands including Bank West, Colonial First Statement, Commonwealth Securities, and Commonwealth Insurance. So they have a pretty huge network. It provides a variety of services to customers to fulfill their requirements. It has a wide scope through the customers and through their company collaborations and through their services. Customers are able to enjoy a range of competitive account benefits on accounts, personal loans and home loans, insurance and financial planning. So they offer a huge number of applications or uses to the users. So, and the last part of introduction is about definition of terms. So there are many terms that would be used, so we will discuss further. And the next part of our discussion is finding and discussions, where we will look at the surveys and their solutions and also the results of those surveys with their frameworks and all these things. So let's start with the first with strategies. So the first strategy that the bank use is customer communication hubs. One of the most significant customer challenges that bank face is overcoming bottlenecks in their workflows. This is caused by omni-channel customer interaction. So more interaction leads to more attraction towards banking and more profit. So communication hub helps banks to manage a large volume of customer interactions by serving as gateway and seamlessly diverting communications to the appropriate stakeholders. So this is a very good strategy used by Commonwealth Bank to attract more customers and also retain the old customers. Second strategy goes to personalized bank customer communication, which is digital marketing is becoming increasingly personalized and focused on delivering relevant information to users. So digital marketing is nowadays used everywhere. So Commonwealth Bank is also using these strategies to gain more attention. Marketing departments must collect and analyze customers' data to gain important insights into customer needs and expectations. Using customer insight data, banks will need to deliver personalized and relevant messaging and content. So banks also need to do some things to ensure that they are going well. The third advantage or the strategy used by them is segmenting bank customers who still prefer paper. So bank must strike a careful balance between digital and paper-based forms of communication. So they need to maintain a balance between digital and paper-based communication strategies. Going all digital on loan channels risk alternating customer segments that still wants to use paper. So they need to focus on many other areas too. Moving on to the conclusion. So through conclusion, data were analyzed by using composite reliability, and Fornell Lacker is the name of the scientist who proposed many things regarding this bank, and he proposed many areas where the bank should watch or should be careful around. These tests are applied to find the effect of organizational communication or employee service performance and the effect of employee service performance on customer outcomes. So they need to look at many other factors too. This study concludes that the result of the study shows the significant impact between organizational communication and employee service performance. So a study was conducted by Fornell Larker, and this showed many results. And in a nutshell, Commonwealth Bank of Australia uses a number of communication methods or ways to attract new users or retain old users. The communication tactic starts with bank branches, as we already discussed, the hubs, and offline locations at multiple sites all around the world, especially Australia. It operates at many other countries too, but the main focus or the location is Australia. And letter suggestions, mailbox suggestions, advertisements in offline ways like banners, newspaper ads, and other magazine advertisements to gain attention. And more advanced ways like artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence or machine learning algorithms are used to map the customers and to track the movement or the behavior of the customers so that they can gain more information about their behavior, so they can use more services or provide more services, or and more advanced ways like using artificial intelligence and tracing softwares to collect the data of their customers about the patterns of their interest in services ranging from loans to insurance, so they can gather information about uh, what are the people who needs loans, so they can just target those people. And that's very efficient in many ways, like they would spend less money and they will target the people who really want to do those things. And also many services like insurance and savings to investment options and opportunities. And they will also be able to examine the behavior of their customers. Overall, the bank uses a series of methods and ways to communicate with their customers as well as their internal employees, or which needs proper planning and execution of rules and regulations. So bank needs to hold meeting with their internal people to grow or to retain or their position made by the company officials. And the next part we move on to is recommendations. So according to my point of view, communication or interaction is crucial in every organization, whether it is big or small. The communication takes place between two levels, internal and external, as I already discussed. There are two layers or two levels. First one is internal and second one is internal and external. So starting with the first one, in internal manner, the communication should be carefully taken out to conduct participation or regulate the rules made by the officials, solve the issues or problems that come across the company, keep the employees engaged by various sessions. So there can be various sessions or various activities to keep the employees engaged and to keep them working with them and to explore new ideas or to think outside the box. And this participation in various events, and they will be able to discuss new strategies to grow the overall company. These type of internal debate or communication is crucial for the company to grow or even sustain in the competitive world. On the other hand, in the external manner, the communication is needed to attract the customers through showing or presenting various plans and charts. So as we already discussed, the major way or the major uh, method used by the banks to gain attention is offline hubs. So in offline hubs, they use various plans or charts to map the customers' expectations and to attract more customers, as presented in the Presley's paradox. So in Presley's paradox, Presley states that as more and more communication methods are developed, like when we move from face to face to gestures, from gestures to multimedia or electronic ways, the communication decreases. So in the contrast, people should use more face-to-face communication to gain attention, because that is the most effective way by Priestley, conducted by his studies. So as presented by Priestley in Priestley's paradox, the more the medium of communication really is, the less the communication really takes place. So companies' main focus should definitely be on face-to-face or offline communication, which is actually adopted by many companies all over the world, as there are examples like a company named LTC Corporation has rules where they have assigned banners all around the company or all around their offices, that if someone wants to communicate or talk to someone, the best method should be face to face. Instead of sending emails or messages to each other, they should go to that person and talk with them individually. So that is the major part of their communication strategy. And other mediums could also be use of advertisements in magazines. So these are some other uses or some other strategies that can be used, showing people the advantage of membership through various ways, like people are wearing campaigns, so they can conduct campaigns, and many other offers like free membership for a month or money back guarantee can also be used. Collaborations with YouTube star is a very viral way for communication, as this retains more users all over the world in all areas with different languages too. So language is not a barrier there. Apart from all these, the major type of communication medium used today is definitely electronic, and specifically for financial world, it is artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. So a popular example that come across while discussing artificial intelligence is a company called BlackRock, which is a multi-billion company, and they use artificial intelligence to retain the customers, and they have learning objectives to map their customers. And also, according to research, the artificial intelligence technology used in BlackRock is the most advanced project in the world right now. Even companies like Facebook, Google, and Amazon do not have that capability. So these strategies should also be used by these companies. And the last part of our report is references. So these are some references listed below, but the more are listed in the report. So this is the end of my report, and thanks for watching.